What's good, everybody? Welcome into Early Edge Live, your daily sports betting brand of record. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all of sports betting, and it is not close. I'm your boy, the coach, and I got to tell you, I don't know if I've been this fired up for a show like I am right here and right now. Our week ends on Monday. For those of you that are brand new to our brand, first of all, welcome. We're so glad that you are here. Here's what we do on this show. We do our best bets. We do any prop that you want to ask us about and give you our props as well. We also give you not one, but two same-game parlays. We call them a donkey. We call them a goose. And tonight, a very, very, very special parlay. We've been touting it for over 24 hours, and it's about to happen right here, live on the show. Sort of. Let's bring in the stars, because you know on a Monday night, I bring in my absolute heavy hitters. And look who I have tonight. Where do I start? Live from Nashville, Tennessee, the penthouse level. M Squared. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Coach. Proppy, see you. Great to see you guys. Love this Monday night football matchup. I love defensive battles. You guys know that by now. It's a good, nasty undersweat if you want to take it. But, yeah, let's go. Fired up for this game.
I felt bad for the underbettors last night that cashed at halftime, 27-20. It was over. I was happy I was on the over. All right, now next. Oh, live from parts unknown. Prop stars. You came in hot today on Twitter, big boy. You came in hot. Good evening.
Yeah, we were taking shots. What's up, Senor Coachman? Cousin Sia, brother Mikey. Great to see you guys. Last night, cashing a little plus 625. Same game parlay. I might also add that we had 5 of the 6 legs cashed by halftime. We almost cashed that thing in the first half, which you don't see very often. So I'm fired up. I've been in the lab working overtime with my main man, Goose. We've got another same game parlay given out tonight. I can't wait to break down this game.
I got to tell you, as excited as I get for you and Mikey to give out the donkey and the goose, I may be even more excited for a little parlay. I'm not even going to tell you what we're calling it yet. I will reveal that in a moment. Now, I feel like this man is getting backed into a corner, and he is so talented that when that happens, good things tend to happen for him. So I don't know if we should lay off him or not, but he is the most handsomest man in all of the Early Edge universe. See Najad. Good evening, sir.
Oh, not backed into a corner, backed into a wing, my friend. My wing for winning 3 times the gem 3 times over last year. So listen, I got to get in this year, and I think I have the cure for all my ills, at least as it pertains to this year. I have got your first touchdown score in this game, and I can't wait to reveal it at the end of the show.
All right, that is called the gym. We do it a little bit after the top of the hour, about 8:05 Eastern or so. But we got a lot to get to before we get to that. So, gentlemen, if you don't mind, let's get things started. We do things at the beginning of the show, our best bets. So, we're going to start. See you, Najad. I believe you like a side, and you are in simpatico, if that's even a word. Start us off.
It is indeed, and I believe I'm in simpatico with you to some degree, Coach. I actually like the Colts here minus 2.5. You know, now that it's on, I think you could have gotten the Steelers at +3, maybe in some places +3.5. I certainly would not have liked this bet here, but we know we talk about key numbers all the time, and now that I'm getting under that key number of 3, I like the Indianapolis Colts at home minus 2.5. So the Steelers, they're playing a little bit better. Their defense is getting healthier. With TJ Watt back, they will wreak some havoc in the backfield as it pertains specifically to Matt Ryan. Minka Fitzpatrick is back. This team is getting healthier, but the Colts are getting a little healthier too. We have a healthy Jonathan Taylor. We have Matt Ryan back at quarterback. And don't forget, you know, the Sam Ehlinger stats are kind of skewing things offensively for the Indianapolis Colts. Now that Matt Ryan is back, not that he is some prolific quarterback at this point in time, but Matt Ryan can actually get this offense functioning, especially if Jonathan Taylor is healthy, which of course he is. And he has flashed his old school Jonathan Taylor self very, very recently. Add to that, Paris Campbell, Alec Pierce, Michael Pittman are starting to gel as a receiver core, finally healthy together. I just really like this spot for the Colts at home, who I don't think are out of it. And for the record, who are playing a rookie quarterback who is still, you know, he's good, but he's going through some growing pains. I don't think the Colts think that they are out of it. They are still technically in the playoff hunt. They're at Dallas next week. They're at the Vikings. Maybe they win one of those two after winning tonight. Then they get the Chargers at home, then at the New York Giants. We won't know what the state of that franchise is by the time they play them. And then they get the Texans at home. So I think if you're in that Colts locker room, you're thinking, A, we're on national TV, and B, we still have an outside shot at the playoffs. Let's make it happen.
Oh, there's no doubt they're still alive. They win tonight. They're 5-6. They 5-6-1. Very much. Now, I don't need to give out a long take because Sia just did it for me. And what did Mikey say at the top of the show? Defensive struggles. So I gave this out earlier today on Early Edge in 5 when it was -140. I'm taking the points out of it. Why? Well, last week, Philadelphia scored late to win 17-16. The Colts still cashed. The Fighting Jeff Saturdays, 2-0 against the spread. I'll take them on the money line. I'll take the points out, but I don't mind the 2.5. So me and Sia are together. But he used a very, very popular name. In fact, it's a name that has my fantasy football team number 2 in the power rankings with our little league that we have going on. Who's number 1, Sia, by the way?
Oh, that would be me by a margin of points that is actually kind of eye-popping. I believe it's at this point like 130 points between me and second place in that SportsLine league. Thank you so much for asking. Super sweet.
I just needed a me. I didn't need all of that extra stuff.
Well, you got it. You got it.
I just wanted Alex to hear it because Alex is our resident fantasy guy that keeps talking about his points, and he's below me now. But, Alex, Sia used a very, very important name that's helped my fantasy league get off the schneid now that he's healthy. And you think tonight there'll be a big old hole at least once for him to run through. Who am I talking about?
Talking about Jonathan Taylor, I like his over 17.5 yards longest rush prop. I think this is a really good spot for Jonathan Taylor. Since Jeff Saturday has taken over as head coach, we have seen the best Jonathan Taylor that we have seen this year. 2 straight games with at least 22 rushing attempts. He's cleared this particular prop in 3 straight games. He looks like he is fully healthy, back to that uber explosive running back that had a historical year last year against the Steelers, who are a very good run defense. They've allowed the 5th fewest yards to opposing running backs in the NFL this season. What they have been is susceptible to big plays, and Jonathan Taylor gets a lot of big plays. He's had at least 5 rushes this season for over 20 yards, led the league last year in breakaway percentage, elusive rating, a lot of the metrics I look at where you're looking for explosive plays, and this Steelers team gives up explosive plays. Furthermore, I think with 20-plus rushing attempts, he's going to spring a big run, especially because Pittsburgh is very aggressive with their defense, with TJ Watt back in the fold. One of the ways you counteract a very aggressive pass rush is by handing the ball off a lot. So I anticipate Jonathan Taylor getting quite a few carries. There could be periods throughout the game where he's struggling, but I definitely think he's going to break off a big run at one point in this game. That's why I love his over 17.5 yards for his longest rush.
Kirby just said, Club Furthermore just opened. Time to head in. Yes, it is. Steven said, I love this prop. JT going to break loose for a Josh Jacobs special. How great was Jacobs yesterday? 229 on the ground, an 86-yarder in overtime to win. Amazing stuff. Go, Alex.
That was the 11th most yards from scrimmage in a game by an NFL player.
Boom. Thank you, sir. That's what it is. It's all about the information. Use it to your advantage. So we have very special voices on the show today. Now, all I need is for everybody to look to the heavens, because I believe, yes, look to the heavens, Mikey, even you, look to the heavens, because I believe the voice of God is about to bestow on us some team totals that I just can't live without. Voice of God, are you there?
I am here, and I'll tell you what, we're coming down like Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania, baby. So, first off, let me just say here in the chat, our man Danny Hall has it correct. We're going to have to hear the voice of God to hit our likes. Hit the like button. Let's get to 500 so we can get all of the good stuff at the end of the show. But speaking of good stuff, we'll go ahead and give you the screen right here too. All right. Like Drake said, dude, we have trust issues with both of these teams. So the way we're going to play it is this. We're going to play the Colts first half team total over 9.5. We're going to play the Colts second half team total over 9.5. Touchdown and a field goal. That's all we need in both halves. I think Jonathan Taylor, as props broke down, is going to run and run and run tonight. It might not be the highest scoring game in the world, but we can get the Colts there to 10 in both halves. Second, no-fly zone is open for both quarterbacks tonight. Matt Ryan is throwing a pick. Kenny Pickett is throwing a pick. Both of these quarterbacks have actually been playing pretty well the last 2 weeks or so. That being said, it's going to be a defensive battle. They're both going to have to take some chances and some risks. Yeah, we're taking both to throw a pick tonight.
By the way, voice of God, did you go to school? Like, did you take English class?
No, I didn't go to school. I'm not on record with the government. Like, it's an issue at times.
All right, it's apostrophe S, not S apostrophe.
For what?
But Mama's Squared Parlay.
Well, it's 2 mamas.
True. We'll discuss it after the show. Now, you guys got the little tease right there on the screen. We've been teasing it for over 24 hours. Mama Coach has been visiting for 10 days. She won't come on camera. But as you know, if you watch the chat, whenever our man Buckets is on, who's right there to pump him up? Who's right there to say, that's my baby boy? Oh, it's Mama Buckets. So, without further ado, how we put these two plays together, I have no idea. But Mama Buckets, if you don't mind, the floor is yours.
Hey, Mama Buckets here, and I'm all set for the Mama Squared Parlay. I'm taking Netherlands to win 2-0 in the World Cup match tomorrow. Netherlands are coming into this match top of the group, and a win here without conceding goals will solidify their spot as the top team in Group H. They've shown how defensively sound they've been, holding Senegal to 0 goals and Ecuador to only 1. I'm going to parlay this bet with Mama Coach's Monday Night Football pick for later tonight, which is George Pickens' longest reception over 18.5 yards. Thanks, and good luck, everybody.
Honest. I got to be honest. I think she might be better than Buckets himself. If we think Mama Buckets is better than Buckets, raise your hand. I'll go ahead and say it. I mean, Jeffrey said in the chat, he goes, where is it? Where is it? He goes, come for the picks, stay for the blasphemy. I hear you, Jeffrey. Boy, I don't think this is the first time we're going to do the Mama Squared Parlay. And Mikey, it's out of respect for your name that we call it that. You realize that, correct?
Oh, yeah, I love it. I love it.
Right. Well, you love the World Cup, and you're an NFL aficionado, so there's nobody better to comment on this parlay than you. What do you think, Mikey?
I absolutely love it. Yeah, I absolutely love it. If you want to take it a step further, maybe even an exact score 2-0 for Netherlands. But other than that, I love the play. I will literally have this played. I'm going to play this.
Mama Buckets.
Yeah.
One of the greatest cappers in the world is going to play your parlay. Oh, yeah. Buckets, that's never happened for you. Mikey's never played a parlay from you. Never, ever, 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 ever. Ladies, if it hits, she takes many bucket spots. She takes the bucket seat. There is no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Lydia, you called it. You called it. Oh, there's most definitely a seat in Club Cachet for Mama Buckets. Don't forget about Mama Coach, but Mama Buckets, you're the star today. All right, so that's all taken care of. By the way, the little watch party out there at Mama Bucket's house, hello to all of you. Happy holidays. Happy Thanksgiving. We love your son. Let's go. Now, you guys are crazy. All right, so we got a lot of names to talk about. Unlike last night, guys, where we had stars all over the board. We had overs flying everywhere, 47, 40, whatever the final was. It was amazing. Tonight, we don't think it's going to be that. Mikey, let's start with you. Not really anything specific, but when you went into the lab today, were there any names? Because I got a lot of names here, but the numbers are not big. It's one of those very difficult nights. Your thoughts on this game?
Well, I'm kind of on the opposite side of you guys on the game. I like the Steelers in the game. I have not played it yet. It'll be an in-game play if the number that I want presents itself. I'm looking for 4.5 or better in-game on it. So that's where I lean on the game to the Steelers side. Slight lean on the over as well. I do agree with AB. I think we see some turnovers from shorter fields in this one that ultimately lead to points. You'll see later, I think a couple guys I've isolated to score touchdowns in this one. As far as player props that I would be leaning on, Pat Freiermuth is someone I expect to have a pretty big game here. I think that the Colts are going to really struggle to defend him and all the other weapons that they have. It's just going to be a matter of how does Kenny Pickett deal with the pressure he's going to be put under. If he handles it relatively well at all, I think the Steelers are going to be really tough to beat because of those guys. I think it's going to be Freiermuth that likely has the biggest day. And then other bold prediction in this game, I'll save that one for later.
Okay, that's quite the
Save for
tease
later.
right there. So,
Yeah,
Alex, let me
I'll
come
see
to you because Mikey just talked about the guy that you love the most. His number is 5.5 and 46.5 tonight. It's gone up from 4.5. Your thoughts on Freiermuth?
This is a great spot for Pat Freiermuth. He's sort of functioning as the number one option in the Steelers passing game over the last few weeks. He's kind of asserted himself over Deontay Johnson and over George Pickens as well as Kenny Pickett's top option. We're seeing consistent volume from him. Also, the Colts do struggle covering tight ends, and I feel he's in a good spot because regardless, if the pass rush is effective, I still think he'll be involved. And if the pass rush is not effective, I still think he'll be involved. So I do think this is a good spot to back Pat Freiermuth. I like his yards quite a bit. Prefer that to his receptions line, but I think both are solid. One guy I wanted to hit on really quickly while we're just talking props, a guy I like quite a bit, a play that I'm personally playing. I haven't given this one out publicly. That is Michael Pittman over 5.5 receptions. You can find this at plus money on most books, I believe, or it's close to like minus 105 if it's not plus money. Since Jeff Saturday has taken over as the head coach, we have seen a recommitment to Michael Pittman. His production kind of dipped there when Sam Ehlinger was at quarterback, but Matt Ryan loves this guy. If you look at his target profile, how many targets he's getting, how often he's the first read of Matt Ryan, it's up there with DeAndre Hopkins, who leads the majority of those metrics where he's the first read on pretty much every single Kyler Murray drop back. So his usage is actually outstanding, especially with Matt Ryan and especially with Jeff Saturday at coaching this team. So I really like Michael Pittman in this matchup. He's going to get a ton of volume, which is why I'm choosing to attack it in a volume-based play such as receptions. So really like Michael Pittman over 5.5 receptions tonight.
Yeah, I just got it in live at minus 101, so it's still very affordable at that number. Thank you for that added lean, Alex. Now, see ya. Oh, Mikey, go ahead. What do you got?
I just want, before we moved on, I wanted to mention one more thing on Pat Freiermuth. Just since they got rid of Chase Claypool in the middle of the season, Freiermuth actually leads the team in target share and air yards at 30+% in both of those metrics. Pretty impressive for someone that's not a wide receiver. Yeah, he gets targeted early and often and downfield.
Well, you know what? I was wavering, but after that stat, I'm banging the over at 46.5 is what I just got at. You guys like it at that number? 46.5?
I do. Yeah, I have 53 is the number I have it. So
Ooh, about 7 yards of value. All right. Thank you, Mikey. Thank you, Alex, very, very much. Now, see you. Let me come to you because I love talking quarterbacks with you. And last night, first quarter, and I told myself 3 weeks ago, we talked about it, didn't we? I said Jalen Hurts, Daniel Jones, and whoever else, I was going to play their over on their rushing every single time. And I didn't do it. He had 150 yards. Now, these two guys are not going to do that, but their numbers are doable. 213.5 for Pickett, who last week the Steelers scored 30. Let's not forget that. Matt Ryan, 233.5. Let's start there. And then, Alex, I'm coming back to you next. What do you like here, Sia, if anything?
Yeah, I like Kenny Pickett's over. I mean, if anything on Matt Ryan, I'd lean the under, but I think it's a really good number. I think so. Here's the thing about Najee Harris. So we know he's going to be the alpha. Jalen Warren's not going to be in this game. Benny Snell's going to be the backup running back. Najee Harris has been pretty efficient over the last couple of games, but those have been games against softer rush defenses. So even though I think Najee Harris might have an okay game, I do think this rests on Kenny Pickett's shoulders to some degree. And I don't want to be the guy that's like, talking about overs everywhere because then, we got to look at the game total and like have an understanding of how many overs there might be. But I do think Kenny Pickett to the point of, listen, he's got Deontay Johnson, he's got George Pickens, and then of course he's got Pat Freiermuth, and he's going to be dumping it down to Najee Harris here and there too. And in my opinion, it also could be a negative game script at some point in this game. To me, 222.5 is pretty attainable for him. He could end up slinging it around, and honestly, I wouldn't shock me at all if he gets to 250.
Okay. Very, very good. Alex, I'm going to come back to you because we were talking this afternoon, and you had kind of a lean. You didn't make it an official play, but you thought Matt Ryan's completions looks attractive. Why did you like that?
Yeah, it's just a low number. If we look at his completions, he's averaging, I believe, 24.7 per game. He's also has one of the lowest ADOTs, average depth of target, of any quarterback in the NFL. So he throws a lot of volume. He really takes advantage of the short area passing game, which is why I like Michael Pittman, who seems to be the biggest beneficiary of that. So he gets rid of the ball quickly. Also, I think Pittsburgh's defense is vulnerable in the short area passing game, and I think TJ Watt healthy really makes a huge difference for this Steelers defense, and he's going to force Matt Ryan to get the ball out fast, where he's going to make a lot of short completions. So I do like his completions. I think there's value at the 20.5 number that is available.
All right, very good. Mikey, I'm coming to you next, but I need you guys to listen to Lydia. My girl Lydia in the chat. Press that like button, everyone. It helps the brand a lot, and these guys deserve it. Much love. Yes, we do, and thank you, Lydia, very much. Love having you every single day. Now, Mikey, let me come to you, because other than Michael Pittman, there's a bunch of guys that people probably don't even know that play for the Colts and are on the list of props here. Guys like Paris Campbell. You got Mo Alley-Cox, Jonathan Taylor, Alec Pierce, Gunnar Olszewski. I mean, I'm writing these names down today. I'm like, who are these guys? But other than Michael Pittman, he's got to throw to somebody. Do we like anyone on the Colts side?
I personally don't. I think it'll be a lot of Pittman. I think Mo Alley-Cox is fine. Typically look to use him a little bit more in the red zone. I'm mostly isolated on Jonathan Taylor. Since they got rid of Nyheim Hines, he's actually been on the field for some of the higher leverage situations. He's going to be on the field more in third down situations. I think he's going to be involved in the passing game a little bit here in this particular matchup. So while it's a tough matchup for Jonathan Taylor on the ground on paper, that's why I'm not taking any of his unders tonight, because I do think he's going to be heavily involved in all of those aspects. But I don't like any of the other Colts other than Pittman and Taylor personally. I think it's just incredibly difficult to isolate who's going to do it on the 2 to 3 targets or receptions that they could potentially have here. And I think we see some field goals from Indy tonight.
See, and that's the thing. In the chat, AB, I need you to hit on those field goals for me. People are asking about them. And let me come back to you, Alex, and see I'm coming to you. What do you got, bud?
Yeah, I think Mike hit the nail on the head as far as the complementary pieces in this Colts offense, particularly looking at Alec Pierce and Paris Campbell. It sort of looked like for a minute there that Paris Campbell had asserted himself as the number 2 option in the passing game. And then last week, he had a 78% route participation compared to Alec Pierce, who had a 93% route participation. And then the previous weeks, Campbell had a higher route participation than Alec Pierce. So they're sort of seesawing and flip-flopping back and forth between who is going to be the second or third option in the Colts passing game without having a guy sort of having asserted himself yet. It's best to stay away from those complementary pieces, in my opinion.
It takes a lot of discipline tonight, because we love to have nights like last night, as the guy said, where everybody's cashing the over. But like Sia said, you got to be very, very careful in a game like this. But Sia, let me come to you, because a lot of people in the chat are asking about it. Mama Coach did her hardcore handicapping today, and she found the longest reception was what she liked the most. But if you watched the Steelers last week against the Bengals, Pickens had a couple of long catches, had some great catches right at the goal line. He played like the stud that everybody thought he was going to be. Tonight, over 3.5 minus 139, over 42.5 minus 140 currently. Your thoughts on Pickens?
Yeah, I like both of those. Unfortunately, with the juice, I don't think I would end up getting there with them, but I do think Pickens is going to be involved. You know, I had bet on Pickens. I had a yardage prop on him a couple weeks ago, and one of the problems with that, because it didn't hit, was Kenny Pickett just being very inconsistent. And again, we do have to kind of realize that this is a very young, inconsistent quarterback at this stage of his career, which is why guys like Pat Freiermuth, I think, are going to be sort of the more reliable targets for him. So that's why I don't think especially at that type of juice, I don't think I would be on George Pickens or Deontay Johnson. I will say this, though, about the question as it relates to the backup receivers, or I should say the number 2 receiver with the Indianapolis Colts, because it goes back and forth between, of course, Alec Pierce and Paris Campbell. I hit a prop on Paris Campbell just last week as it was close, but he ended up sailing over his yardage prop. In this case, because they keep swapping back and forth, we may be getting a discount on Alec Pierce, again, because that role seems to teeter back and forth between the two, especially not just if you look at route participation, you look at ADOT and things of that nature. I mean, Alec Pierce is pretty heavily involved, just like Paris Campbell. So given that you're getting the discount with Alec Pierce of 33.5 versus 46.5 with Paris Campbell, I mean, I think both overs are okay, but I do think I don't think the books know how to handicap Alec Pierce specifically. So the over there is intriguing to me.
That's really, really smart. Let me stay with you. Thomas says Paris Campbell's longest reception has been 31 and 35 the last 2 games. His number I'm staring at right now is 20.5 minus 130.
I don't love it. I mean, I'll be really honest about hitting that Paris Campbell prop last week. I hit it late, and I hit it because of that 31 or 35 yard. It was almost a touchdown, actually, but it was very late in the game, and I just didn't see a lot from him downfield for the first 3 3/4 quarters in that game. So for me, in this game, yeah, you can get behind that Pittsburgh D, but I don't think I would take it here.
Alex, go.
Yeah, if you're looking at longest reception props, I would look at Alec Pierce. He's certainly serving as the deep threat option in the Colts offense. Also, that is what his skill set is. He is a very good deep ball receiver, and he gets a couple shots down the field per game. So as far as longest reception goes, I would definitely look at Pierce.
17.5 minus 130 is his right now. You like
Looks
that?
Good. Yeah, I do.
Yep.
I like that too.
Like that too? All right, I'm going to play it live. You know me, I love playing these live right in front of everybody. We are fully transparent, boom, all the way, and we're approaching the top of the hour. We are 1 minute away, and I got to tell you, Mama Buckets was great, but I'm telling you, I can't overhype this. What Mikey has ready for you in the donkey, if you don't earn it tonight, oh, my goodness. It's the mega donkeys of all mega donkeys. But we're not at 500 yet. I need you to hit the like button to get to 500 so we get the mega donkey. We get the goose. We already have the mama squared parlay. So hit that like button for me. Take the chat down, hit it, and put it right back up and keep on chatting. I love what I'm reading in the chat tonight. So positive as we wind our week down. So, Mikey, let me come to you because we haven't even talked about the all-important team totals that we love to play so much. Last night, 47-40, clearly they all hit. But tonight could be a little more difficult. Do you like anything first half or for the game?
I have the slightest of leans on the over for the game. It's sitting at 39.5 right now. I think the number should be 41. These are relatively key numbers here on totals. So slightest lean on the over in the game, expecting it to be very competitive. I lean towards the Steelers side, so I have the bigger lean on the Steelers team total over, but I think they ultimately end up hitting. I think the numbers here are mostly efficient. It's just off by a field goal essentially across the board.
I think tonight I'm going to do what I learned from M Squared over the last couple of years. I'm going to look at the flow of the game. I cashed 4 tickets last night, Mikey, thanks to you, on the over as I stacked them, as we like to say here on the show. And boom, when you get to 87, you're going to hit everything. But it was about the flow that we talk about all the time. Mikey, why is that so important?
Oh yeah, it's definitely important to understand the flow and watch the way, if you get to the point where you're watching enough games, I encourage you, even if you don't want to live bet or don't have the opportunity to, pull up and watch the way lines move during a football game. You can learn a ton about the game simply watching the way the markets move every single play of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Damn right. You can also learn by following all my guys on social media. They're always tweeting in the games we talk about on these shows after we get off the air. We're trying to be as positive and as busy on social media for you guys at home so you can really learn and take the information for yourself. All right. Sinful Saint, I know I can always rely on you. We are over 500 likes. We are past the top of the hour. And you on Mondays, the game starts at 8:15, not at 8:20. So we have 3 very important things to get to. We'll recap our best bets, and we're going to get the hell out of Dodge. So, I believe I'm going to reverse it tonight because I want people to wait for it just a little bit. Now, Alex, I called you today, and you said, Coach, I just don't know if I can do a goose tonight. I said, you know what? There are levels to this game, and even when you may not love a game, you're still better than most. So explain yourself, and I need to hear the boom. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so as soon as we cashed that plus 625 same game parlay, Coach, we went right back to the lab to build another one tonight. I will caution all of you guys that I don't have the same level of confidence in this same game parlay as I did in last night's. That's not to say I don't like it. I've personally played this, but I just like to be as transparent as possible with the people, and I'll always tell you if I feel better or worse about something, vice versa. So that being said, here we go. First up, my favorite anytime touchdown scorer. He is the foundation of the same game parlay. He is the man of the hour, Jonathan Taylor, anytime touchdown scorer. Then we've got the Colts to score a minimum of 13 points. The Steelers to score a minimum of 13 points. Matt Ryan to throw for at least 200 yards. Michael Pittman Jr., who I like quite a bit as well, to have at least 55 receiving yards. And Najee Harris, who we haven't really discussed much tonight, to have at least 50 rushing yards. Put it all together. It pales in comparison to what Mikey's about to deliver, but this is a baby goose, and I would love to hit this twice in a row.
Yeah, plus 60-25 last night. I mean, it was a sweat. It was a sweat to hit in the first half. I mean, that was ridiculous, Alex. It was just silly what you did last night. Silly. But what's next is silliness. I cannot wait for the biggest donkey we've ever given out. Let me back it up. Mikey, floor is yours.
All right, there we go. Yeah. All right, biggest donkey ever here. You're going to have to squint to read it. It is on SportsLine, by the way. If you follow me on Twitter, I tweeted a link to it for tonight. We're going to follow Proppy and anchor it with Jonathan Taylor anytime touchdown. We're also going to add a Najee Harris anytime touchdown. Then we're going Steelers plus 12.5 on the alternate line. Kenny Pickett over 169.5. Matt Ryan over 199.5. Michael Pittman over 54.5 receiving yards. Pat Freiermuth over 34.5. Deontay Johnson over 29.5. The Colts team total over 13.5 and under 12.5 points in the first quarter. For those of you who love to sweat those with me, I've maxed this out for the 100% boost that is available. When you do that, it pays plus 3,400.
Here's what I'm going to do, and anybody can join me by raising your hand. No pressure. Yeah. Alex, go ahead.
I honestly think the Mikey's is going to hit.
You do.
I do.
You do.
I love that.
Maybe you want to join me with what I'm getting ready to say. Do you want to do you trust me?
I trust you, Coach. With
okay.
my life.
Are you in?
Yes.
Are you in? Okay.
Yeah.
So here's what we're going to do. If this hits, then me, Alex, and whoever else wants it is going to give away a cold, hard $100 cash. No strings attached. But what I need you to do right now in the chat, I need you to write, if you want to participate, Mega Donkey. Write Mega Donkey. And you could have 2, 3, 4, 5 guys from the crew. Who wants to play will give away $100. Anybody else?
Of course. Yeah, if I'm playing, I'll definitely pay.
Wow. That's 400. That's 400.
I'm in.
I don't know how much money God has, but God, are you in? He's not in.
God went quiet.
God is not. No. I'm kidding. I'm in.
$500.
$500
Yeah.
tonight.
The problem is it's coming from the offering plate, so I'd be careful.
Make sure we're all paying taxes on that. All right, so everybody wants to play. We're going to select 5 people, and if this hits tonight, the Mega Donkey, a whole bunch of people win. All right, we got to speed it up because it is now 7 after. The game starts in 8 minutes. So we got to do the gym very quickly. Now, you know what? Let's do the best bets first, and then we'll do the gym at the end. So really quickly, throw those best bet up there. 15 seconds or less. Proppy, go.
Jonathan Taylor, longest rush over 17.5 yards. I think he's going to spring a big one, but the Steelers do have a good rush defense, so I think they'll contain him for most of the night, but I love his chances to get at least a 20-yard rush at some point.
See you, go.
Yeah, give me the Colts under the key number of 3. I got them at minus 2.5, and I think it's a good play considering what the Indianapolis Colts are playing for and how that receiver core with Jonathan Taylor is gelling together.
And I love the Colts in the money line. I don't want to deal with those 2.5, but it's only minus 140. All right, AB, I'll just read his quick. Colts first half, second half. They're going to score at least 10 in both halves. And then the no-fly zone is open tonight. Matt Ryan and Kenny Pickett each will throw an interception. And, of course, Mama Buckets, the star of the show. Mama squared parlay. Netherlands win to 0 from her. And then my mama is giving out the George Pickens longest reception over 18.5. And it was endorsed by my man, Mikey. All right, the gym, the last thing we're going to do here on the show, if you're brand new, you want to play along, pick a player plus 1,000 or higher that you think score the first touchdown of the game tonight to cash that ticket into Club Cachet with me, with Alex, with AB, with the Maestro. We have others that desperately want to get in, but Mikey named this. He was the very first winner, plus 4,000, which I believe is the highest we've ever cashed here in this contest. Mikey, you're up first.
We are going with Deontay Johnson here, plus 1,300 for the Steelers. You know the last time he scored a touchdown? Week 19 of last season. He has not scored this season. However, he does lead the team in red zone target share for a good reason. He's definitely scoring a touchdown at some point this season. It's going to be the first one tonight.
Oh, you said that with a confidence. Oh, I don't think I like that very much because it's going to happen. All right, now, Alex, you're the first one to get into Club Cachet this fall. So you, sir, you're up next.
Before I give my pick out, Coach, quick question for you. Have you ever watched or familiar with the show Married with Children?
It's one of my favorite shows, yes.
Okay, so does anyone remind you of a certain Al Bundy who would always talk about how he threw 5 touchdowns back at Polk High School, like however many years ago? Totally random thought just came into my head. Just wanted to ask if that reminds you of anyone else on this stream or anyone affiliated with SportsLine. Anyway, let's get to my pick now. We are going with Paris Campbell. I believe you can get this at plus 1,700 on DraftKings. He scored 3 touchdowns already this season. Has shown a good chemistry with Matt Ryan. Good chance he gets his 4th one tonight. Give me Paris Campbell plus 1,700.
I like it a lot. Now, I'm up. No, sorry. AB, voice of God, you're up next. Who you like tonight?
Yes, sir. I'm going to go quick. If you want to get in the club, you want to take shots and rally, you throw the ball to Mo Alley. Mo Alley Cox plus 2,500, getting the job done tonight.
All right, I'm up next because I got in the Club Cachet, courtesy of my favorite team, the Kansas City Chiefs. Thank you very much. I'm going to go with a guy that the guys have been talking about all night, and I can't believe I got it at plus 1,700. Alec Pierce. He has 1 touchdown so far this year. After tonight, it will be 2. And as Mikey says, he will score the first touchdown of the game. Now, Snake is on. I can't even remember what Snake is on, to be honest with you. But it doesn't matter. He's not here right now. See ya. You're up next, sir.
I don't mind the Al Bundy comp at all, as long as Alex doesn't mind the Tayshaun Prince comp. I'll tell you where I'm going with that. The Detroit Pistons, what did they win? 1 championship. They got in there one time, and we kind of don't remember who was on that team. I think Tayshaun was on that team. I'm not really sure. But me, on the other hand, I'm like the Chicago Bulls, 91 to 93, 96 to 98. 3-peat all day, every day. I start a new one today because Pat Freiermuth at plus 1,400 will be the first touchdown scorer. Again, Pat Freiermuth plus 1,400 is going to be your first touchdown score tonight. And I'll see you guys at Club Cachet.
The Snake is on Jelani Woods plus 2,500. Alex, I will say this. Right now, you and I have set ourselves up that if Sia gets into the club, Mikey too, you and I are just going to have to bite our lip and take it. That's all I'm going to say, but there's nothing we can say.
I'll be the first one to buy us a round of shots.
Okay, very, very good. All right, it is that time of the show when the bots show up. It's time for us to get the hell out of Dodge. You know we like to end every single show asking my guys what's the number one most important thing they're looking forward to tonight. You can use the information for tonight or moving forward. It all matters. We all roll together. Mikey, start us off.
Looking forward to a competitive game in which Jonathan Taylor and Najee Harris both score touchdowns to keep this donkey alive. Hopefully not in the first quarter since we have under 12.5. But yeah, looking forward to a good game here tonight.
We all have different angles. See ya. Talk to me.
I'm not a Matt Ryan guy, but I do expect him to shine in maybe one of his last times at prime time in front of a national audience. And I'm hoping that comes through because I've got the Colts minus 2.5.
You're damn right. I'm rolling with you, brother. Alex, bring us home.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hitting the goose 2 nights in a row, going back to back with the same game parlay. I'm also looking forward to Mikey cashing the mega donk and us collectively handing out $500.
Oh, man. Kirby says, see ya, get in the club so you can finally loosen that top button and relax.
Never.
Just think of these one-hit wonders. He called you a one-hit wonder.
No. He's merely referencing my bit last week when I called all of you all the new radicals and Mambo number 5 and all of that stuff.
You are very creative with your insults. I will give you that. Very, very creative. Damn it. I love doing this show more than anything I've ever done in my life. I'm not kidding you. I've had some fun gigs, but you guys at home make it The crew makes it. Damn it. I may have a little announcement in the next week, too. I may be around for a little while. You just never know. You just never know because we're just getting started. There's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these Monday night tickets straight to the pay window for my entire crew. Love them all. Cena John, Prop Stars, M Squared, the voice of God, Mama Buckets, Mama Coach, and of course, Jake the Snake, wandering around there somewhere, always producing at the brand. Can't do without him. I am the coach. Damn it, do we love this. But thank you to all of you. You take the time to spend with us. That is not overlooked. We love it so much right here at the Early Edge. Good luck.